Have you ever seen someone in your neighborhood that you recognize? Often, when you're a child and you see someone like a teacher, you see them out in the world, it's hard to recognize them in a different scene. I saw one of my coworkers who's logistically the money lady at the place that I work. She's all things that have to do with funding. And so I see her, I say hello. She says, nice to see you. I say, nice to see you. And then she goes wherever she goes. And at that moment, I see someone else in the scene. And so the next step is to figure out the story. For whatever reason, we try to do that as humans. And when you really think about it, there are some things that you think, but you just don't know. So I'm observing a woman who's in her car. And so the woman looks like she's the age where she could be her mother, but you don't know. So then you think, oh, well, you make up another story. And so people will think themselves into something that may be right as an assumption and something that may be absolutely, totally off track. And so what I'd like to challenge each of us to do is to be quick to make up our own stories, but to be slow in making up stories about others. So if I tell myself that I'm going to be on the Golden State Warriors and I'm going to be the first person like me to be on the Golden State team, I can tell that story to myself, and as long as I believe that story and go towards and work towards that story, then I'm going to be living the truth of the story that I'm in. What we often do is we look around at the groups that we're in and the resources that we're connected to, and we make up stories that have to do with others and what others will need to bring to the situation to make real what we've been thinking. And so what that turns into is control. And so you want to be able to control based on what you're thinking an outcome that's pleasant, like you're planning for something. And so anybody who's listening, I would just encourage you to stop doing that. You know, the spark of joy is interacting with each other. We have the ability to be socially connected in a real personal way and also in some really kind of intimate virtual digital ways. And so the more that we're making of those things and the less that we're making, the lesser of stories that we tell ourselves about others, probably the better off we're going to be. When you think about the humans that you have an opportunity to matriculate in the world with, if you're always thinking and you're always coming from a place of, harm less from your own perspective, joy filled, and in an inertia to share that kind of joy, then you're probably going to be just fine, whether you hang with a group of people that roll in Rolls Royces and Benzes, or whether you hang with people that push, as my godmother would say, push the old people cart. Mentally, we're not at a loss. Mentally, most of the time, we're over and over and over in our own heads about things that we don't even know are true. So, I guess go outside, connect with something green, be well, think well.